This is our philosophy for what happens to a lead when active, day-to-day follow-up stops. A lead you stop calling is almost never dead. Most are just asleep. This is about what we do with the sleeping ones, why we do it, and the job each of you still owns once they're admitted. We call it the long-term care facility, or, around here, the Coma ward. Here's the hard truth. You cannot give every lead intensive care. Your time and your energy are finite. When you try to treat every lead like a hot lead, you burn out, and the genuinely active buyers, the ones ready right now, get less of you. A hospital has a limited number of ICU beds for a reason. Triage isn't cruelty. It's how the people who need you most actually get you. Every lead lives in one of two wards. Follow-up boss is the ICU, active, urgent, hands-on, where your best daily energy goes. Bold Trail is the long-term care facility for patients who are stable but quiet, kept alive on a structured drip and monitored around the clock. Two different jobs. The skill is knowing which ward a lead belongs in, and not feeling guilty about moving them. Let's widen who belongs here. About 1 in 5 of our leads never even comes in by phone, and more than half of all the leads we get, we never reach live at all. That's not failure. That's the business. So the test for admission isn't whether you had a great conversation. It's much simpler. Do we have a live phone number and a live email address? If we do, there's no downside to admitting them, because inside the facility, we keep reaching out by text and phone until they tell us to stop. Whether they went quiet, never answered, or are just on a long timeline. If the contact information is good, they're a candidate for care. But broad admission comes with one hard rule. You do not move a lead in just because they ghosted you. A ghost earns a bed only after at least 5 real calls or voicemails, and at least 30 days in active follow-up. 5 tries, then they can rest. The only people who skip that line are the obvious non-buyers. Someone already working with another agent, an agent themselves, the next-door neighbor who just had a question about the listing, or the person who only wanted inside before their own agent's Saturday showing. No buyer intent, no waiting period. Admit them right away. And one rule protects the whole system. When you write up the file before transfer, always note whether they actually got their 5 calls. That's how we go back and catch the patients who were moved in too soon. Moving a lead out of active follow-up can feel like quitting on them, like you're giving up. But this is triage, not abandonment. Moving the sleeping patient frees your hands for the people who need you right now, and the patient keeps getting care in the facility the whole time. The guilt that says, I should still be calling them every week, is the very thing that wrecks your focus on the leads who are actually ready. You're not closing the door. You're moving them to the wing built to keep them alive. Here's what care looks like inside the facility, the 4-drip. Bold Trail's core prospect campaign runs the emails and texts automatically, and it adjusts to their behavior. Weekly home search alerts keep dropping fresh listings in their inbox, which trains them to come back to our website instead of Zillow. The machine never forgets a patient and never gets tired. The one thing it can't do is be a human voice. The burden here is tiny. The drip covers all the emails and texts. The only manual thing you owe a long-term patient is 4 phone calls a year, 1 a quarter. That's the entire workload per patient. The quarterly call is the human touch the automation can't replicate. A real voice, checking in, no script needed. For calls a year to stay top of mind with someone who may buy or list a house worth real money. That's an extraordinary return on a tiny effort. You might be thinking, great, so I can just ignore them. No, for calls a year is not permission to disappear. It's a rhythm you can sustain for years without burning out, which weekly calls to a cold lead never are. Relentless, but structured. Skipping the 4 calls is the one and only way to fail in the facility. The machine does its part forever. The only question is whether you do yours. This is the magic of the whole system. People in comas wake up, and Bold Trail is the heart monitor wired to the patient around the clock. When they stir, it tells you instantly. They come back after going dark. They view 5 or more homes in a single night. They look at one home 3 times. They favored a property. Each one of those fires an automatic alert, a text, straight to you. You don't have to go looking. The monitor beeps. But the alert and the dashboard are useless if you never log in. Bold Trail's home screen surfaces the day's hottest patients, but only for the agent who actually opens it. So the rule is simple. Log in a few times a week, at a minimum. If you don't, the patient wakes up to an empty room and walks right back to Zillow or to whatever agent picks up first. A wake-up nobody answers is a patient lost, and those are the most painful losses because the system did its job and we didn't. Then there's the hardest case, the patient who dies on you, buys a house from another agent. But they didn't die, they bought, and almost always right here in our territory. That makes them two valuable things. One, a future listing. They own a home now, and in 5 to 7 years, the agent who never disappeared is the one they call to sell it. Two, a referral source. Be the relentless realtor who never gave up, even after they bought elsewhere. That's exactly who they recommend to friends and family. We never pull the plug because the relationship still has years of value. So the facility isn't where leads go to die. It's a recovery wing. You win twice. First, you get more focus on the living. Your daily energy goes to the active, closable leads, free of guilt. Second, you're first in line when the sleeping wake, because the system kept them warm and kept watch for you. More closings now, and more closings later, from the same pool of leads you already paid to generate. So it comes down to 3 commitments. 1. Trust the transfer. Move quiet leads without guilt. 2. Make your 4 calls a year. 3. Check your dashboard a few times a week so you never miss a wake-up. That's how nobody dies on our watch. Every lead either closes with us or stays a patient we can revive, but none are ever abandoned.